Eureka! You found us! Welcome to the Check Out California radio show, your key to California hospitality. Hosted by Rad Gantos, principal of Rad Gantos and Associates, a hospitality and commercial real estate design firm, and Craig Sullivan, executive vice president of Park West GC, a hospitality and commercial real estate general contractor. Check Out California is focused on our state's hospitality, travel, and tourism markets, and on the large part they play in California's vibrant and innovative economic diversity and unique quality of life. Now, here are your hosts, Rad Gantos and Craig Sullivan.
Good afternoon. I'm Craig Sullivan.
And I'm Rad Gantos.
Welcome to Check Out California.
Special edition. Check out.
Very special edition. We've got Vincent Do from Night Hype Entertainment, a nightlife events and marketing concierge company that's now operating in Orange County, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Scottsdale, Arizona. Vince is here to talk about his new venture, Audio Bar, Orange County. Sounds very exciting with the pre-meeting that we had just a little while ago. So, Vince, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your venture?
Awesome. My name is Vincent Do. I grew up in Orange County, California, Costa Mesa, Huntington Beach mostly. Went to Newport Harbor High School, Orange Coast College, and then graduated with a Long Beach State degree in business marketing.
Very nice.
Yeah, so locally homegrown.
Go Beach, actually.
Yes, go Beach.
Go
You got it
Beach.
right. That's right. You know. Since pretty much since I was young, I've always been known to be a really social person. Had some pretty big birthday parties every year, and kind of got known as a person who throws a lot of events and a lot of fun and brings people together. And then pretty much through high school and beginning of college, I started working in the nightlife scene, just from the very bottom, just passing out flyers for different electronic music events in LA and Inland Empire areas mostly. And then it started focusing more locally on Orange County bars and nightclubs.
Yeah.
And I would say that, Night Hype Entertainment, my company that I started, it started longer before this, but the real start was in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
It started at a venue called Woody's Wharf in Newport Beach.
Beach, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
know it well.
So
Know it well.
it's a classic place that is able to continue bringing out new clientele throughout the generations. And we used to throw pretty much the first successful weekly Wednesday night there ever. Wednesday night in Orange County, I mean. And it was crazy. And from that, all the bars and clubs started coming and saying, who is this Night Hype Entertainment? Who's this Vince guy that can bring all these people on a Wednesday? What could he do on a weekend?
Right.
So, from there, we started promoting at all the major clubs in Orange County, Shark Club, Heat Ultra Lounge, Sutra. We've been at Sharky's Huntington Beach on Tuesdays for 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, and we constantly, try to innovate ourselves, do different events that bring in different kinds of crowds. We don't just say, hey, come to our Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, come to our Taco Tuesday.
Right.
We try to do different themes. We had a 90s night going there for a while on Tuesdays and did like crazy stuff like a Ninja Turtle party and Spice Girls look-alike contests and crazy stuff like that. And we've worked with a lot of big sponsors, OC Weekly included.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to have an article coming out on OC Weekly.
I got a preview thanks to Raquel.
Yeah,
Looks good.
I don't like to say anything until I see it in print, so we'll just leave it at that.
No pressure,
yeah.
Raquel.
But and from there, felt like I wanted to expand outside of Orange County just to broaden my horizons and see how other markets work, and found an opportunity in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I had my vice president, Alex Mag, take over Night Hype Orange County, and he's been here for about 6 years running it without me.
Okay.
So he still does 4 weekly events at Mansion Costa Mesa Fridays, Time Nightclub Thursdays,
Just down the street.
and Killarney's in Huntington on Saturdays.
Saturdays.
Yeah. And then in Scottsdale, we duplicated what we're doing out here with the nightclubs and bars. We threw a weekly night swim pool party at this place called Spanish Fly. We threw a Halloween block party with 1,000 people 2 years in a row called the Neon Halloween Block Party.
Very nice.
Yeah, and
That's got to be fun. There's got to be some stories behind
oh
that.
yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, and then a crazy thing was One of my old business partners, Chris Canada, he and I used to own a party bus together here in Orange County for a year. And he moved out to Vegas before I did. And he's like, hey, how are things going in Arizona? I said, well, it's really slow in the summertime. It's really hot there and everyone wants to leave. And a lot of them go to Vegas. So he said, well, why don't you come out here and check out the Vegas scene and see if you want to work in it. And so I came out for a summer. Loved it, saw the opportunity, and started splitting my time between Arizona and Las Vegas. And for the last 4 years, it's pretty much been full-time Las Vegas.
Wow.
So our company in Vegas is a little different than Orange County and Scottsdale. It's more of a concierge company rather than an event production company.
Okay.
So we take care of people's trips from start to finish, including discount rates on hotel rooms to transportation to nightclubs, pool parties, bachelorette party planning, dinner reservations, and all that.
Shop.
Yeah, so you can look us up, Night Hype Entertainment, spelled Nytehype. And we're contracted with many of the most of the major nightclubs on the Strip.
So you get everybody in, no waiting in line. And
yeah, we could do that for sure. So
Okay.
Hakkasan, Omnia, Encore Beach Club, Intrigue, Excess, Dre's, Rehab, many of the venues you guys have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super fun, and it's super grateful to be able to follow our passions and continue to do what we do and grow. And now the next step, after promoting other people's venues for over 10 years, we have a concept we've been working on for the last 3 years called Audio Bar, and it's our chance to put together everything that we've ever learned in marketing, in event planning.
Well, let's
in
hear about
management.
Audio Bar.
Yeah.
Let's give the audience the website.
Why Orange County?
Yeah.
Why Orange County? It's a great question. There's a few answers to that. Orange County is home. Orange County, I feel I have the most support in, thanks to you guys. And we know the market the best here. Scottsdale and Vegas are very competitive. I mean, every market's competitive, but I feel like those ones are a lot more competitive if you don't have your roots there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I have done business in Scottsdale for about 6-7 years and then in Vegas for the last 4 or 5, I just feel like it's the safest bet to be here in Orange County. But also, it's not just from a business standpoint in that way in regards to risk. It has to do with wanting to bring something here, a concept here that could add to the nightlife offerings here, something unique and different. So I could talk about the concept if you guys.
I'd
You
love to
think
hear
there's
about the
room for
concept.
that?
There's definitely room. I mean, if you want to ask more direct questions.
No,
about
I
that,
didn't want to put Vince on the spot. I promise I wouldn't put Vince on the spot.
Okay.
But we've had some good conversations in the last 2 days about this and the fact that, a lot of us in Orange County probably live in towns where they roll up the streets on 10 o'clock at night, and that's on a weekend. So no disrespect to anybody. I know a lot of people that are restaurant and bar owners, and it's just I think the timing, the community, the county, the mix of people that are in it, the interest in different kinds of music, the diversity that's in there, the alignment, if you will, of things. There is a need and a hunger for a bit more of a sophisticated, diversified offering for a nightlife.
I totally agree.
And something that goes hopefully more than 10 o'clock at night. You look at Yelp at any night of the week, and the restaurants are closing at 10. There's a few that don't, and hats off to you guys. Thanks for sticking it out and opening late. But yeah, I think it's an awesome opportunity, even if it's just on a business side. I mean, it's home. B, you got the support, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and your concept's amazing. So we should talk about the concept.
Yeah, we absolutely should. And the other thing that's great is, local boy comes home, makes good. And, you definitely know the market. You grew up here, so you understand it. You see the dynamics and how they're changing right now, and how you could fill that gap and bring a product and a service to this sleepy little community. And,
bedroom community is the reason why they call it Orange County Bedroom Community.
Turn it on
it's
its ear.
It's a glorified suburb, is what I sometimes call it. Yeah. But we could add to it. We can make it more fun.
Absolutely. Sure. So let's hear about your concept.
Yeah. So Audio Bar Orange County. What it is it's a music-inspired venue. It's a bar, nightclub, and restaurant. It follows the design of a type of concept in Scottsdale, Arizona that is actually the most successful type of bar, in my opinion, there. called the High Energy Bar.
Yep.
Okay.
So what it is a lot of people here in Orange County, when you hear the words a cross between a nightclub and a bar, they instantly think it's a lounge.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
that's just it. And it's not a lounge. It's what it is it's a bar that feels comfortable and casual. And when people walk into a bar and it's empty during the day, they don't feel like they just feel like, okay, let's grab a seat, let's hang out. But when you walk into a nightclub when it's empty, you start going, oh my gosh, panic, like this is not going to be a good time, we got to get out of here.
Right.
And so we're trying to create that environment where people can come in throughout the whole week during the day as well and be comfortable. But then on the weekends, it turns into a nightclub atmosphere, but not a full-on nightclub atmosphere. So the bars in Scottsdale that do this well are some of them are called El Jefe, Hi-Fi, Bottled Blonde, and they've been expanding into other states, Austin, Chicago.
Yep.
And those concepts, basically, they turn up the music, they put on a DJ, they have some lighting effects, but it's not fully dark like a nightclub would be. There's girls dancing everywhere, but they're not in go-go outfits. They're
Right.
more a little
Cages.
skimpy and, sexy, but not so much that it would offend the casual bar crowd, right? So
Okay.
Which again, let's remember, you're saying Orange County, so that's probably a good.
yeah,
Good
there's
call,
a lot of
yeah.
a lot of
Juxtaposition.
beach people here, casual,
Yeah.
coming out from surfing from the day and whatnot. Yeah, and what's cool about those concepts is there's people buying bottle service next to people who are wearing shorts and sandals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really alienate anyone. A bar goer can love it, a club goer can love it, so it's great. And then to go into the music part, so I looked into places that I used to love going to as a kid, and people always say if you're going to open a bar, you got to open a place that you would want to be at all the time,
Time.
Right.
hours on end,
Right.
because
Right.
if not, you're going to burn yourself out, and
Right.
Yeah.
how could you really want other people to come all the time if you don't want to be there all the time?
Right.
So personally, I'm not really into sports bars. I'm not into sports really, so I could make money and open a sports bar, but that's just not my thing and my passion.
There's too many of those as it is.
Absolutely. So I looked into the places that I grew up hanging out hours on end at, and some of them include record stores such as Tower Records that used to be here
Right.
in Costa Mesa,
Yep.
Warehouse Music, and also this place called CD Listening Bar. And there were 3 of them in South Orange County. The one I went to was in Irvine. And the cool thing about CD Listening Bar was they allowed you to come in there and listen to any CDs on the walls, even if they're brand new, just released. They would open them for you, and you could sit there for
Right.
free and hang out for 8 hours on end listening to whatever music you wanted. And I thought it was great because at the time when I think I was 15, 16 or so, I was starting to open my horizons, not just in hip hop, but into ska, metal, like different things. And so I was able to go to CD Listening Bar
And sample it.
and start listening to new genres and
Yeah.
discovering new things. And it was great. So at Audio Bar, we're kind of duplicating that in a different way. We're going to have a music listening station, and people are going to be able to come in during the day, and a lot of bars struggle in bringing people in during the day.
Right.
People can come in, put on our headphones. There's going to be iPads where we'll have a playlist curated by us. We might change it every 3 months. It'll be all types of music, and people can just listen to whatever they want. They could order cocktails, they can order lunch, drinks, whatever, and just hang out all day. And so that's one aspect of it. I used to love going to Hard Rock Cafe, and Hard Rock is really cool, especially when you know who the bands are.
Yeah.
But the thing is today's 21-year-old, when you walk into Hard Rock, you don't know who Led Zeppelin is sometimes. A lot of
Right.
them don't know who Nirvana is. They don't know who Guns N' Roses are. They might not even know who Prince is, which is really unfortunate.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they look on the walls and they see this cool memorabilia, but they don't necessarily
Doesn't
relate
really
to
mean
it.
There's no emotional connection to it. at
Right,
all. It's
exactly.
not what they grew up on.
Exactly. So it's cool. It feels cool, but it may not be something that, like you said, they can relate to. And so I'm trying to create the next generation, a hard rock style concept. But for today's generation, we're trying to differentiate from the rock. So we don't want to do rock
Right.
because it's already been done.
Yeah.
And we feel like today's generation is very into nightclubs and is very into music festivals. The music festival scene
Yep.
is growing bigger than it ever has been. Electric Daisy Carnival here in Las Vegas is the largest music festival in North America, and that's
Good.
mostly electronic music.
There you go.
So
You got Coachella, and you've got various others. Well, I mean, they're crossing all the various genres.
Well, and they
now,
start out being very like grassroots and very like ground up, and they become more sophisticated and gentrified, and to a certain extent, there's alternatives that are coming up because some of the venues have become a little bit more streamlined, and so that's kind of cool because that speaks to kind of the history of music, right? Where you've seen that happen before.
Yep.
Where a festival takes on a little bit more of a corporate nature, and then everybody basically says, well, I'm not going to go there anymore. Where else am I going to go? Here's another thing that pops up.
Right.
So I thought it was really cool, and we talked about this kind of half jokingly, but I think it merits repeating, is there's a lot to be said for something that is genuinely authentic these days. That isn't just cookie cutter, curated in a world that is so overly curated, something that is happenstance, something that has a little bit of a variable in it, something that's authentic, it's more steak than just sizzle and optics. That probably scares the living daylights out of people, and it should, because that's where it happens. That's that comfort zone where you're out of that comfort zone and things start happening. Those are the memorable things that you probably experienced when you were going and checking out that new music at places, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, and that's the differential, between you and the hard rock. You're looking at different genres. You're looking at the impact in the community. I'm assuming, and I mean, Orange County's always had a wealth of talent musically and entertainment-wise. So let's celebrate that. I mean, and I think personally that was part of the problem with the hard rock. Certainly the issue with Planet Hollywood and its demise. They were the same. There was nothing to differentiate, any of them other than Vegas had gaming at the Hard Rock.
Right.
So that was about it.
Yeah.
Where's your first location at?
It's going to be in Costa Mesa. I'm not going to say exactly where. We're looking at a couple spots.
You'll need to be on the list to find out.
Yeah. I do want to say a couple more things about the concept real fast.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna be focused on EDM and hip hop music, and when you walk in, you're gonna see memorabilia of your favorite timeless EDM DJs, producers, and hip hop artists. So
very nice.
You could walk in and see Dead Mouse's helmet, Skrillex's jacket, The Weeknd's gold record sign, Kendrick Lamar's this, and just different things on the walls, and it'll speak to today's generation, which will be really cool. And and we're going to be doing a lot of cool music-inspired events. So, there will be EDM nights. There will be, top 40 hip-hop. But then other nights of the week, there will be a music trivia night. We'll have an open mic night and just different things that are music-oriented to basically what you were saying about a lot of bars and restaurants and whatnot. They just kind of open their doors and they just appeal to the general mass.
If I see one more bar with recycled wood and sort of a floating, like drink shelf above the bar with low lighting and some God knows what concrete polished floors, where the logo basically changes every 6 months because ownership can't make a go of it, and it's successful or as badly fails as the one before it. I mean, it's just there's no authenticity. There's no risk taking. The other word that comes to mind, Vince, and I shared this with you yesterday, is innovation. Right? I mean, there's some people that when I told them you're going to be on the show, they're like, "You guys are a hospitality show. It's a California hospitality show." And I said, if you put the word California on hospitality and you don't understand the importance of the word authenticity and innovation, then you really don't get A, California, and B, really the spirit of hospitality. Innovation, one thing that comes to mind, and it's kind of a funny story. I've seen it happen across the country, not just here, right? But if you're at Crystal Cove, if you've ever been at Crystal Cove prior to they basically put in the beachcomber in there, right? Crystal Cove used to have this tradition. All these guys that basically got, lit at these little homes that, was only a matter of time before the state took back. They basically put up a martini flag every, I think it was like 5 o'clock or something at sunset, and then somebody basically blew the bugle, and basically they had to salute the flag with the martini glass on it, right? That was great.
That's cool.
In places like Crystal Cove,
right.
In places that were of that nature from the 50s and 60s that had that part of their authentic culture. But when every place that has a bar on the beach starts to basically consider putting up a flag and having a makeshift fabricated 5 o'clock bugle blow, that to me is not innovation.
Right.
That to me is riding on the curtails of somebody else rather than doing the hard work that is really where the rubber meets the road. And you are doing that with Audio Bar. And that's why I wanted you on the show. And I told Greg, it is hospitality, it is innovation. Within that, and you are basically being hospitable. I mean, if it's a bar, if you're a restaurant, if you're a hotel, you are in the hospitality industry.
business, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're getting the signal. We got about 2 minutes left. So,
Oh, wow.
Your buddy Raquel wants you to talk about the launch party. So let's do that real quick, and then we have to wrap this up. I have to thank a few people for being sponsors.
Yeah, Raquel.
Oh, we're taking the break.
Oh, you're
actually.
taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking a break.
Taking a break in 2 minutes. Okay. So
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
not
not
done
over,
with-
it's
I'm
just
not-
a break.
I'm not done
Okay,
with Vince
good.
yet.
Woo.
he,
I have a
he's
lot more to
teaching
say,
in
too.
a little bit. So
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we're gonna. So let's go take.
Oh,
let's
talk
take
about
the
it
break.
now.
Let's take the break,
go to the
Paul,
break
and then
now.
we'll
Okay.
come back. And for those who are watching on Vince's, just hang in
Yay.
there for a minute.
Thanks,
Imagine
guys,
what
for
it would
tuning
feel
in.
like to lose everything: your job, your home, your family, your dignity. This has happened to thousands of the men, women, veterans, and young adults we serve at Working Wardrobes. What do we do to help? We provide career development services, life skills workshops, job skills training. We provide the perfect interview outfit, and we get clients placed in jobs. Call Working Wardrobes 714-210-2460. Donate, volunteer, invest, hire.
When you use the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express, the rewards points can keep on multiplying. Buy 3 with triple points on airfare. Buy 2 with double points on gas and groceries. And a single point for pretty much every other dollar you spend on the card. Then, start choosing from over 1 million rewards to redeem all those points. Apply today and the annual fee for the first year is on us. Call 1-800-AXP-GOLD or visit axpgold.com. The annual fee for the card is $175. See terms, conditions, and restrictions at axpgold.com.
So Vince, go
Welcome
ahead.
back. This
Hey.
is Check Out California. Vincent Do's with us, and we're talking about the Audio Bar OC.
Which is
Welcome back.
Which is Audio Bar OC on Facebook, right?
Exactly, yeah. Audio Bar OC, audiobaroc.com, and we have a live crowdfunding campaign right now to raise our first capital towards our opening on Indiegogo. And
Very nice.
Search for Audio Bar OC.
How big of a place
Yeah.
are you opening?
It's going to be 4 to 6,000
1,000 square feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Give you a little time to grow into it and turn it into a
Exactly.
big hit, and then look
Exactly.
for a second, bigger location, I'm guessing.
Yeah, actually, since the start of our crowdfunding campaign about a month ago, it goes until June 20th. We've had more
Very good.
investor interest, and some of them have been talking about how they see potential for this to become franchisable. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
Done right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Proven models with, Hard Rock and various others.
Right.
Well, and anybody who is going to go check it out, go to Audio Bar OC on Facebook. But there's also a website, Vince, right?
Yeah, audiobaroc.com.
.com, and
Yep.
there's some good visuals on there. These guys have done a lot of background and work and hard work in this. It's very well dialed in, and so I can totally understand why people are already kind of reaching out to you and saying franchise.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So tell us about your launch party.
Well,
Hinted at that before we went to the break.
Raquel Figlo, she's writing right now. She's our publicist for Audio Bar, and she was able to land us an article in OC Weekly and connected us with this radio show here, and she wants to help out with our launch party. That's going to be at a future date to be determined whenever we get all of our funding in a row and start building and everything in Costa
Okay.
Mesa, California. So stay tuned.
And make sure you like the page, pass it on, share it, get the word out that these guys are doing this. It is really one of the genuinely innovative things that I've seen come through OC
Yeah.
in a long
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Rad
that a lot.
hasn't stopped talking about it. So it's,
I haven't stopped talking
Really?
about
So
it.
if
Yeah.
you need a designer to help out, there's one there, and I've got
Cool.
a construction company that can
Excellent.
they can help you out with that as well. So
Great to know.
yeah.
Thank you guys.
yeah, all local talent.
So I asked you this question, and for those who basically see the word, audio bar,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna have food?
Yes, we are. We are gonna have food. Originally, we were gonna call it the Audio Bar and Ristorante. We're actually gonna scrap the Ristorante. Yes, and it's gonna be casual American and some Italian bites, pretty much light food. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We don't wanna eat too much when we're being social.
Right,
so.
but I mean, there's going to be so what I was trying to get to is there's a little bit more of a full service offering here.
Yep.
It's a bar. It's listening stations. Is
Dancing on the
dancing. It
weekends.
changes on the weekend.
Yes,
It
yeah.
has a weeknight vibe, and then you also have some foods, and it's
Yep.
pretty cool. And it's so centrally located, really, for Orange County. So
Yep.
very, very cool. What made so? What are you going to do with your other businesses?
That's a good question. Yeah. So Night Hype Entertainment, it's in Orange County. It's going to be determined if the other venues that we're working with right now, I named them earlier, Sharky's, Huntington Beach,
Right.
Mansion, Costa Mesa, Time Nightclub, and Killarney's. It'll be up to them if they're open to us continuing to do promotions at on these specific nights with them when we own our own and operate our own place. In Scottsdale, to be honest, we're not really doing events right now. We kind of shifted a lot of our attention towards Las Vegas and this project, Audio Bar.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is we have staff in Scottsdale that help out. Damon is working on marketing for Audio Bar, and Ashley Bonner. Thank you, Ashley. She's our operations manager for Las Vegas, and she's pretty much my right-hand woman. So
And you can be on a plane in here in an hour. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, our concierge service in Las Vegas with Night Hype Entertainment is going to continue. So all you guys who are worried, oh man, Vince is starting this new thing, can he still take care of us? Our staff is still going to be able to take care of you and give you great service in Las Vegas.
Well, and you'll have a presence in both of those markets, which should be the next natural extension if you actually get a franchise situation or even a corporate-owned locations, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. What do you see in terms of you're going to open this thing? You've got 10 years of being in that industry, right?
More than that.
Well, okay,
about 15. Actually.
So where do you see it going? I mean, is this something that you're just capturing a moment in time when this is good? Is it going to last 5 years? Because that's going to be part of that investment question or investor question, right?
It is, yeah. It's a good question. To be honest, my original plan was to open the first one in Orange County, and then once that gets going well, then open a second one in Scottsdale or Tempe, Arizona area. And then we were just going to see what really happens after that. Those were my original plans, but I mean, with investors involved and what their goals
Gas
might be.
Lamp, San Diego.
This concept could easily go into downtown San Diego.
Absolutely.
It can go
Old
into
Town Pasadena, Santa
it can go
Monica.
into LA. It could go.
Stay out of downtown LA.
Someone was talking to us this week about opening in Austin, Texas as
There you
well.
go.
Austin would be a good
huge,
market.
Austin's
huge
a
market
great
for
market,
it.
yeah.
So how do you Vince? How do you avoid the pitfall of some of the places that you mentioned early on, using as examples? I mean, how do you avoid the pitfalls of becoming obsolescent, like a Hard Rock or something like that, where not necessarily obsolescent, but where that isn't. I mean, and the reason I'm asking is because you haven't been on the promotion side, right?
Yep.
So you've had to keep it fresh for all those places.
Yep.
And by the way, I think they would be dumb, and I'm telling it on the air right now, to basically stop having you guys promote just because you have your own place, because they need for them to basically still have those seats filled and those drink orders filled.
There's enough room for everybody.
There's enough room for everybody.
There is,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but I'm asking this with put your promoter hat on. How do you avoid having a venue which is brick and mortar that has capital investment in it, go the way of the other ones that have basically done that?
I'm going to answer this from an Orange County local perspective.
Please.
And this is what this show's for. So, what we've been able to do to be able to be at Sharky's Huntington Beach Tuesdays for 7 years, you have to constantly bring new crowds in the door. And we're really good about bringing in different people to be affiliated with our events. So, for example, when U.S. Open is coming, we'll work with local companies, surf companies and whatnot, and bring them in, do cross promotions with us. We're always bringing in different people to guest bartend with us, different DJs locally to perform for us. We do weird stuff too. Sometimes we bring in a local drummer to play with the DJs, or just different giveaways with local companies. And so doing that is what allows us to keep the doors or the attendance full, because you can't just draw on your own same people over and over, because they're going to get tired
another Taco
of it.
Tuesday.
No.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It can't be that. And that was one of the things that, Midnight Oil did so well.
Okay.
They had Randy Gerber created the Ultra Lounge.
Right.
Okay, so Midnight Oil, we had firsthand experience with him at a hotel asset in San Diego.
Okay.
Now, he came in and it was a machine, and
Awesome.
They knew what they were doing, from how the bar was going to look, feel, and operate, to who they were going to in their e-blast to tell everybody, hey, we got a special event, we got so-and-so showing up. And they always kept it fresh. And they did that in Manhattan and everywhere else.
That's awesome,
so, freshness and authenticity has always got to be a
Yeah,
part of it, and
yeah.
it's constantly, as Rad was asking about earlier, that capex that needs to be spent to do that. So if you're taking out part of the look and vibe every 2 years or 14 months, whatever it is, or 5 years, whatever it is, the change is, you've got something that's unique, and you're going to be sustainable on a lot of different levels, including the possibility of a franchise.
Where I was going with it too, and I was trying to highlight this because when I look and when I talk to Vince, people will tell you what they're all about. Sometimes when they don't even know that they're telling you what they're all about. if you're listening between
You're
the words.
You're assessing me, huh?
No, I'm not, man. I'm really appreciate you. I assess him. I appreciate you.
Okay,
but
cool.
but no, I think if you really listen between the words, sometimes people will tell you where their heart is, and I see it happen all the time where people basically hitch their wagon to something that has been a success for a moment and has a sustainable shelf life for the last couple of years. But what they miss in doing that is that what is really sustainable is what's underneath that.
Absolutely.
What is the driving passion that drives people? And sometimes it's not the larger organization. It's not necessarily the smaller one either, but you got to delve deeper. And if the person, you, is one. If your team and the people that are around you that are basically engaged in this thing, that are passionate, I mean, I'm looking at Raquel, man, she's just like posting all over your friggin' feed, right? And it's like, if people are engaged, they're passionate, they believe not only in the product, but the lifestyle and what it stands for, and are willing to continue to put in the time, explore, have that fascination of what's the new on the scene, and how do we bring it to a bigger audience, and how do we make it palatable, that's what's going to make that place sustain and have a shelf life.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, on top of all the cool things that we're bringing environment-wise and entertainment-wise, it all goes down to the core of hospitality, which is what this show's about.
Exactly right.
We're going to give stellar service at Audio Bar. We're going to serve amazing food. We're going to make great, unique cocktails, and have that be our core behind everything else that we're promoting.
If a location does not have a soul, all it is a space.
Absolutely. And I in comparison to places in Orange County, I feel like a lot of places, like I said, kind of just open for the masses.
Right.
We're creating a place for music lovers. Our slogan and hashtag is Music Lovers Unite.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel that there needs to be a place like that because record stores are long gone for the most part. And today, people share music in a very impersonal way. They read music blogs. They go on Spotify by themselves. They don't talk to each other about music unless you go to a concert or a music festival or a club. And sometimes we can't always do that. We might have kids and not be able to enjoy and meet people that are like-minded like us who love music.
And if you have a place that even when you do have kids, you feel that you could still go and
Absolutely.
You could maybe even share that experience as the kids get older. I mean, that really is that unification, that coming together and sharing an experience.
Right.
Shout
out to Kaztech, my big blowing up DJ friend here that just tuned in. What's up, Kaztech?
So I think anything else that you'd like to share with people at this point? I mean, I know
we're
you
down
guys
to the
are
last couple of minutes.
Yeah,
so
I want to make sure I give you that time.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you, Raquel, for putting this together. And also, if you guys have been seeing our promotions for Audio Bar, we are doing a live crowdfunding campaign right now. We're raising money towards our opening costs. Right now, we're about $1,000 shy of being able to acquire all the music memorabilia. So if you guys can contribute, that would be great. We have some cool perks on there that you guys can take advantage of keeping for your contribution. So you could look at that at audiobaroc.com or find us on indiegogo.com. And thank you so much for the support so far. And Audio Bar is on its way, and we have some investor interest in it after this campaign. So every dollar counts, and we're bringing this to you guys, to Orange County, for everyone to enjoy.
Share this audio, share this feed.
Please.
I mean, it's easy as clicking a share on the button. Sharing is caring, so just go ahead and send it out.
Vincent, thank you for joining us today. And we can't wait for the opening, and we'll have you back on the show after the opening.
Yeah,
that way you can
good.
decompress a little bit, and we can talk about it, and we're both looking forward to being there. Thank you for being on the show. Today's show was brought to you by Park West General Contractors. Thank you, Chris Hostert and Ed La Civita. And it was also brought to you by Rad Gantos and Associates, my co-host and co-producer of the show. Thank you all very much. This was a special shortened edition. Rad and I are going to be back on Wednesday of next week with on our regular day and time. That'll most likely be a shorter show as well, where we're going to be talking about the NYU conference and a few other things with hospitality. We're going to have a couple of special guests call in from NYU and that hospitality conference, and we'll go from there.
It'll be a great show.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Vince, thank you so much.
Thank you. And all you guys on my Facebook.
Thank you for being our guest today on Checkout California. We look forward to having you as a guest with us again in 2 weeks. Until then, you can always reach us through our Checkout California Facebook page or by emailing us at checkoutcalifornia@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. So do let us know what you think of the show and what areas of interest you'd like to see us cover in the future. Your feedback is very important to us as we continue to bring you the best hospitality our Golden State has to offer. Until next time, may all your days be filled with sunsets and palm trees. Now, go experience and check out California.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm